for rushing. Armada and Mango, I will always have their streams on my monitor, no matter what. It's like a requirement for me. They both did so much for me to get into Melee. I wish they could just fucking get through their fucking bullshit, because I wish they were just, like, cool with each other. It's like seeing two parents fight. Nobody ever wants to see it. The parents separated and moved on, but one of them still hates the other and is bitter because the other moved on. And just wants it back to the way it was. And the other one's just like, no. I mean, so, to me, I've said this a lot. I understand where both of them are coming from. I do think that, like, Armada probably should refrain from making comments about, like, current skill meta, especially because Mango's improved a lot. But at the same time, I also think that, like, he gets dragged into way too much shit. And because his legacy gets repeatedly attacked, and it, like, kind of sucks when you devote your entire life to something just to get it attacked. Right? I see where both of them are coming from. That's why I don't like taking sides in it. And the worst part is, they're both extremely stubborn. Very bad for Armada. I do too. I'm not gonna say he was perfect in it, but I definitely feel bad for the repercussions that he has to face today, because I think the extent to it is just completely undeserved. Like, yeah, there's some things he said that were stupid. And, like, Mango's right to be pissed about them. But, the extent of the repercussions he gets, like, it just sucks. I just feel bad. I'm gonna take things that serious. You're talking about a man who devoted his life to something. Like, you're literally telling a top, like, athlete to not take their craft or their legacy seriously at all. That just isn't gonna happen. Mango's mad about it. I mean, if it's your time to retire, it's your time to retire. Like, not everyone should have to keep going indefinitely. That's just a choice, right? If you didn't have it anymore, like, would you rather someone force it when they don't have it anymore, and then they're not giving their all in their sets? Although I think it's a good thing. Yeah, but you have to remember something. It's not like he can just distance himself from it. Like, he still streams, he still gets questions about it, and he's still on Twitter, because he has to. It's not like he can just, like, ignore it. When it's in your face every day, you can't just ignore it like that. The thing you have to understand is until you've been in the position of, like, a top, like, competitor or someone who has, like, a big platform, you will never understand what it's truly like to be in their situation. Let's see Armada's name before we retire. I mean, if you retired this year, you wish you could have seen more of me versus Armada. If you retired 2 years earlier, you wish you could have seen more Plup versus Armada, right? Like, it would, no matter what, there was always going to be someone that you wanted to see more of. No matter what, there's always someone who comes up and is really, really good. So a year later, it would have just been with me. Next year, it would have been someone else. Maybe it would have been Ginger next year. Maybe it would have been J-Mook next year. Who knows? So no matter when he retired, there was going to be someone that was going to come up and it was like, man, I just wish I could have seen them versus this, like, one more time, two more times, no matter what, right? Yeah, exactly. There was always going to be some comment people were going to make. Like, literally no matter what. Literally no matter what, there was always going to be a thing that people were going to say about it. So it's not that Zayn, it's because it's Zayn, it's because it's just, he retired in the period where Zayn got good. So it's not like, so to say he, like, avoided Zayn is, like, literally absurd and, like, just honestly insulting. Because, like, you could have said that about Left, and you could have said that about Plup, and obviously that didn't happen, right? Like, he didn't retire when they got good. I think the GOAT's a ridiculous discussion to have, period, because how do you define it? You don't even have, especially if you don't have, like, a set criteria you're grading it on, which in itself is going to be arbitrary and defined by, like, human expectations. You can't even grade it anyway. So either you don't have a set criteria or rubric that you're grading it on, and so it's irrelevant anyways, or you have one, but again, it's defined by people making it, and those parameters usually are influenced by some type of bias or emotion. So again, it's just not actually objective. And I still don't understand what we're actually grading. And that's my very non-committal answer, but also the answer that I stick by because I think it's pretty just accurate. In terms of, like, if you actually want to draw a conclusion from it. It's cool, it's fun to have, but I think it's stupid to, like, try to actually factually draw conclusions from it or, like, get that frustrated by it. And how do you account for people getting, like indisputably better as time progresses? Oh, if I want to top 32, am I wasting my time as a Yoshi main? No, you can top 32 as a Yoshi, easily. I don't have a criteria in my head for GOAT. I've never really thought of it in those ways. I think Armada's the best competitor Melee's ever seen, in terms of, like, raw efficiency. But I think Mango's also equally impressive because he's done it with 3 characters, and he's still playing 15 years later. So, well, again, what are we grading? Like, what do you mean by GOAT? Because Mango has a bunch of other things that are extremely impressive. Manteca's most winningest player, sure, but he did it against a bunch of people that weren't as good. So again, what are we grading? And also, MTK did it in an era where there were less tournaments. Not saying it's not impressive, but it's, again, what is the criteria? The criteria doesn't make sense. It's not defined, so I can't actually draw a conclusion. Again, I brought up sports. I think the best way to think about it is you have all of these statistics. Let's just take baseball for a second. It doesn't matter if you watch baseball, but you have all these statistics in baseball, right? To try to measure value, how good a player was. But all that happens with these statistics when you talk about the GOAT is people use these statistics to figure out who's the best of all time, but it's still arbitrary how you use them. Like, nobody can agree on a set metric, and nobody's ever going to universally agree on a set metric, because it's just how do you define it? It's almost impossible. Would have had the highest adjusted peak ELO? Probably Armada. But again, there's a bunch of things you have to take into consideration with that. It's time period, right? Is it more impressive to do it like with just Peach and Fox, or do I value like the fact that Mango did it with Fox, with Falco, and with Puff? Do I value the fact that Mango's done it for 15 years? Do I value the fact that Mewtwo was around for the longest period of time and did it while playing other Smash games? Do I value the fact that Leffen was competing while he was playing other games, period? I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Do I value the fact that HBox has done it with one character and has stuck it out through metas with a character that I think isn't as good as the others? Again, I don't know. I don't know. Do I value the fact that HBox was number 1 in the most previous 3 years, where people were at their indisputed best? Maybe. Or do I say it's Zane or Mango because right now they're the best players that have ever existed because Melee is at its highest peak? Again, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Do I value the fact that Armada did it from Europe, where he didn't have good practice, and he had to travel 20 hours to get to a tournament, deal with massive jet lag? Who knows? I don't know. The only thing I encourage people to do with these discussions is to use it as a way to highlight people's career and respect it, as opposed to a way to bring people down and just be like, oh, the person sucked, they're fraud, blah, 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 blah. Because that's just f***ing stupid. Like, all these players are crazy in their own respect. That's what I don't like about it. That's where I get really annoyed. This is my entire problem with people who are having these discussions, and it's honestly, at its core, the same problem I have with, like, tier lists. What are you grading? What is your criteria? You can't just have these discussions without a criteria. This isn't a field-based thing if you're going to go this hard on it, right? What is your basis? You know, think about any academic field. Think about any, like statistic-based discussion. It's not a field factor. It's, you have to tell me what you're doing. Like, what do you value? You could value different things, and I think that's completely fine. Yeah. And you can't ask Mango or Armada, because no offense to them, they're going to be biased. 100%. Mango's going to value the fact that he's done it for longer than he did with 3 characters, and then Armada's going to value the fact that he was the best for a period of time and nobody could beat him. And both of them are valid arguments, but they're always going to be biased themselves. That's just the way it is. They're competitors. So you can't ask them for it, and you can't take their word at point blank. That's why I get really mad when I see all the Mango fanboys, no offense, being like, oh, it's Mango, he gave all these reasons. I'm like, of course Mango gave these reasons, because he's supporting his own case. What's he gonna say? He's not? He's gonna just admit Armada was better? No, of course not. What's he gonna say? He didn't, and then Armada's better? He's just gonna, like, let us... No, of course he's not gonna fucking say that. That'd be absurd for him to say that. And he shouldn't say that. Not as a competitor. No shot. But yeah, that's kind of... This got annoying. I mean, I gave you my very honest opinion on it, and that's the best I could do.